the British Army is calling on snowflakes, selfie addicts, class clowns, phone zombies, and millennials to join its ranks in a recruitment drive targeting young people. Can you imagine? It would be like, sir, we're under heavy fire from the Russians. Send backup. That's okay, Corporal. Send in the snowflakes. Oi, Russian. Oi, check your privilege. Oi, that's offensive. Oi, you got a license for that smartphone, Russian. You got a license for it. You can see the BBC on that smartphone, so you need a license for it. Sir, bad news. The Russians, they brought in their Muslim divisions from the Middle East. The snowflakes can't ask them to check their privilege anymore. The Muslims have cast a divine shield. Progressive talking points are unable to penetrate through the holiness. Now, all jokes aside, there's an actual advertisement on television with a kid who is playing video games and his dad is angry because he is playing too much. And then it says like, the army needs you. It needs your stamina. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe, when they said that video games make people violent, and I was saying, if that's the case, why isn't the army recruiting them? Well, holy shit, like, they disproved my talking point. Managed to show, Novi, you're wrong. See, the army does need them. They do need them. They need your girlfriend who's playing Candy Crush Saga all the time, or the woman that's glued to the computer, the one that takes selfies and uploads them on Facebook. The army needs her. That's the person that needs to defend your country. It's not like people that are athletes or they're doing like hard physical contact sports. No. They need the snowflakes. Like, honestly, I would not be able to have pictured 5 years ago that this is going to be the headline in a important news article. And not only that, people in my country still do not believe it. Like, I told a friend of mine this yesterday, and he was laughing at me. It's like, come on, like, you probably read it from The Onion. Like, what are you doing on your YouTube? Like, why are you wasting your life? Like, how can you trick people that this is the reality? And it's like, look, it's from The Guardian. And he's like, no, that's not the Guardian address. Come on. Like, someone did a switcheroo. They tried to trick you with the link. That's not an actual article. And then I showed him the ad, and like, his jaw dropped. Like, his jaw literally dropped. He would not be able to believe it. I mean, on one hand, you got armies from around the world like this. I mean, those look like some serious motherfuckers. I wouldn't want to piss them off. Would you want to piss them off? I didn't think so. But let's see what the British Army is looking for.
Can't get him off that thing. Up all night he is.
Stamina. Don't underestimate it. Dedication! Ready, let's go!
That's just what we need!
Tighter.
There's always one, and it's always him.
Contact for us!
I do, I know that.
There's always room for people with a bit of spirit.
You never know when you're gonna need it.
Hey, Chef! Yeah? Happy birthday, mate.
No, but seriously, did the UK army run out of cannon fodder or something? And by the way, I noticed something else, something that no other commentator managed to notice. In my country, and in the United States back in the old days, when you would see ads for the army, especially for recruitment, it would usually like either show a hot chick with big boobies because, sex sells. But most of all was like the idea of going there to kill people. Like you would see Rambo going like, in helicopters throwing missiles and and shit. And like that was the advertisement for the army. Like you're going there in order to kill some people far away. That's pretty much what the army is about, right? Like, show me your war face. Like every single movie that came out about the army talks about you going there and firing cool guns. Because at least it gives you the mental preparation of what you're going to do. Like, you become a soldier and there is a high chance you're going to take someone else's life. But now that I'm looking at these commercials, it shows the army to be incredibly compassionate. It's all about, people going there, having fun, helping other people, feeding the poor, giving clothes to the homeless and stuff like that. Like, there's more ads, and if you look at them, that's pretty much the theme. Like, they're going somewhere to help other people out. And it's like, well, isn't this a little bit disingenuous? Like, maybe this is the world you would want to live in, but it's not. You're going there to kill people. That's what you're going to do. So not only are they, like, targeting, snowflakes and these types of individuals, but they're also lying to them. It's like, oh, you're going to go there and have fun, and you're going to go there and help the poor. There's another commercial where, you know what, fine, I'll show it.
Have you seen her? So slow.
Millennials, useless.
Sounds like a perfectionist to me.
Always run with someone like that here!
Resilience.
We need that.
Come on, chop chop.
Slow and steady.
Hello, 2-1 Alpha. This is Whiskey Tango.
4-1 Alpha.
Eyes on target. Unshakable!
Patience. Always welcome.
And not a single explosion, not a single person killed, because you don't want to show violence in an ad trying to recruit people for the military. No, but it's about helping people, like going in other countries and distributing food, because the army is now, I guess, an NGO that's there to help the hungry. I don't know, but what I do know is that I'm looking at the Russian military, okay? I don't want to screw with those people. I really don't. Like, they look like some badass motherfuckers. And then I look at the British military and what they want to hire. And apparently they want to hire people who play Chinese video games on the PlayStation. And they want to hire people who are so slow that their co-workers have to wait for them at the closing hour so that they can go home. And that apparently is a virtue. Like, if you have to do a job and you do it incredibly slow, and you're taking your time and you're messing around with the cart, right? That is a virtue nowadays, and that's being promoted as such. Jesus, like, the world we live in. Because here's the thing, like, the British Army probably noticed that this is how the youth nowadays are, and this is why they're targeting that specific demographic. Which, by the way, apparently it didn't work. Like, this was not a commercial success, to put it in the least. Get woke, go broke seems to affect the military. And this is very dangerous. We live in a time of peace. And people think, well, who cares about the military? Because there's not going to be a war. Like, the whole purpose of the military is to dissuade people from attacking you. You need to have some scary-ass military so that other countries think like, well, maybe we should invade, this country that's an ally to the British. Well, yeah, but did you see how the British military is like? Just don't, all right? Like, just don't. And that's why we have peace. Like, people are afraid to attack because they know, like, okay, the other military is dangerous. But apparently that's not the case anymore. Like, militaries are all about championing diversity and empathy and kindness and helping other, and less about protecting the nation state. Like, if you are to push the question even further, what is the nation state? What is? Can you define the nation state? Can you accurately point to what that is? Anyway, so the campaign featuring posters and TV ads titled "Your Army Needs You" suggests that what is seen as a weakness or a character flaw by the rest of society can be seen as strength by the army. No, it suggests that this is delusional, all right? It suggests that the army has lost contact with reality. Not to mention, like, do you think these people are even going to get past basic training? And the question is, when these people don't get past basic training, what do? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to lower the standards for basic training so that everyone can join. Why should some people be discriminated against and not be able to join just because they don't pass their physical? The campaign says that the army could use the compassion of snowflakes. I'm not even making this up, like this is a thing. The self-belief of millennials. The confidence of selfie takers. How are selfie takers remotely confident? Like, do you see what the Photoshop is doing to these selfies. Like, I got a friend who told his girlfriend after ruining his PlayStation that if she does it again, he's going to hurt her so much that she's going to look ugly. And she said, "Oh, so you're going to be violent with me?" And he said, "No, I will not be violent with you. I would never hurt a woman. But you know what? I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to prevent Photoshop from ever being invented. And you're going to look ugly in your selfies and it's going to hurt you emotionally. It's going to hurt you more than any physical attack would ever do." And I was like, "Oh, holy shit. You know, that it might actually have a point. Like Photoshop, right?" So, you know, like, what are you talking about? The confidence of the selfies. Hashtag no filter. My ass. And then the focus of phone zombies. The focus of phone zombies. Like, people who actually can't focus and they have to look at their phone nonstop because they're addicted to it. Like, you cannot channel that focus into something else. That's the point. That is the problem that I would say, right? Like, they go out with other people at the dinner table, and instead of like paying attention to what the other people are saying, no, that's boring for them, so they have to look at the phone. The army designed the campaign to show that it looks beyond stereotypes and sees people differently. Okay, so the army is stupid. Like, you do understand that if you go on a boat and you try to swim against the current, that doesn't make you smart. That doesn't make you like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm going to be the one that swims against the current. No, the current is wrong. I'm right. No, you're wrong. All right? Or pissing against the wind. You know, like, you don't do these things. These stereotypes are there for a reason. Not all stereotypes are wrong. Some of them are quite accurate. Yeah, a person who can't take their eyes off a phone, or a person who spends time playing video games nonstop, that's a person that has an addiction. It's not something that's positive if you want them to be contributing to society in some way, because they have to fight their addiction versus a person who's not addicted. A person who's not addicted doesn't have that problem. Doesn't mean that you can't change these people. Doesn't mean that, you know, you can't get them through rehab by forcing them in a mountain area with no video games. But it's obviously going to be an extra work, like an extra chore, to get them to get past their addiction than someone who doesn't suffer from it. Apparently, the army based the campaign on the historic "Your Country Needs You" First World War posters featuring Field Marshal Lord Kitchener. I think Field Marshal Lord Kitchener is spinning in his grave, God rest his soul. The TV ads build on the idea that young, ambitious people may feel undervalued and want a job with a greater purpose. Well, clearly they're not doing a lot in order to get there if they're playing video games nonstop and if they're unable to take their eyes off their phone. These would-be recruits are first shown at home or at work with others calling out their stereotypes before the scene suddenly changes and shows them in an army roles ranging from soldiers assisting on humanitarian missions in war-torn villages, providing support in hurricane relief effort. Yeah, this is what we call delusion, alright? It's how you want the world to be. It's not reality. You're lying to these people. You should be ashamed. The ad also shows a gamer up all night, which the army sees as showing stamina and dedication. Like, you don't need stamina to play video games, alright? Like, this is something easy to do. It's not even like, they're not even showing a professional video gamer, so you can say, wow, you know, like, this is that stuff. No, playing video games at night is what literally everyone can do. But that doesn't mean that they would be able to work all night at doing something else. Jesus. Anyway, NASA said that the army sees people differently, and we are proud to look beyond the stereotypes and spot the potential in young people. Well, you know, like, this is very heartwarming and all, but do you think your enemy sees it the same way? Do you think, like, whomever you're going to send those people to fight against, they're going to be like, whoa. You know, like, we can't attack these people. Why? Because they're very dedicated. Like, they play video games all night, and they work slowly at the workstation. Look, that one is a class clown. That one is going to wrap himself in bubble wrap and take baseball bats to his crotch. All right, that's not a person you want to mess with. That we definitely need to stand back. Oh my God. Anyway, the army has previous, like, honestly, this would actually work if the whole world was on board with this ideology. But in the real world, not everyone believes your political correctness bullshit, and you have a problem because of it. Like, you would have to go to other nations, you know, go to Africa, tell those Africans to check their privilege and to, you know, be more compassionate and stuff like that. And maybe then, you know, you can deploy your army there and Yeah, go to what is it, the warlords with the blood diamonds and stuff like that, and tell them it's like, look, we need compassion, and we're going to come here with some people that play video games all day, and you need to respect that, right? The army has previously been accused of blowing to political correctness after it launched its campaign to recruit more people from a diversity of gender, sexualities, ethnicities, and faith. Man, whatever happened with like recruiting people that are fit for combat? When did that get old? You know, when did that stop being a thing? Like, if you're a tough-ass motherfucker, the army needs you. What happened with that? Am I getting really out of touch with my time? Like, I'm not that old, I like to think. I don't have a single white hair in my body yet. So, what happened with the advertisers that, yeah, are you a good athlete? Do you have strong muscles? The army needs you. Apparently not. Apparently that's a little bit, yeah. In June 2018, The Guardian revealed that the army targeted recruitment material at stressed and vulnerable 16-year-olds via social media on around GCCE results day. The campaign suggested a career in the army would still be open to the teenagers if they did not get the grades they hoped for, with critics accusing the army of cynically trying to recruit young people at a time when they were worried about their future prospects. But what's wrong with that? Like, no, look, if you have someone that's unable to study and is not having the mental capacity to go into a university, giving them a career in the military is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, that is, like, going to the military is actually a virtue. It's not like they're trying to profit from them or they're trying to steal. No, like, they're going to go there and defend their country, and from a lifestyle that they would have no career, now they not only get a career, but it's a very prestigious one. So what's wrong with the army trying to promote itself to people who did not get the grades required in order to get to a university? Huh? Oh my God. I can see why the army is trying to go woke. Like, these people are portraying the military to be the most evil thing on the world. But, well, it's a tool. You need it. Your country needs that tool in order to protect its borders and to protect the allies of the United Kingdom. Even if you say, well, you know, the UK will never be attacked, that's fine, but it still has allies that it probably wants to protect. The recruitment campaign comes as the army failed to meet recruitment targets as it underestimated the complexity of what it's trying to achieve. When it embarked on a project with outsourcing giant Capita, according to National Audit Office in December. Capita was awarded the £500 million contract for army recruitment. £500 million of your British taxpayers was paid for this shit. Do you understand this, UK citizen? Are you upset? I am not British and I am a little bit upset. Just give me those money. I'll recruit people for you. I promise. Look, I promise. Give me money. Give me something like that and I will recruit people for the British Army. I will do a far better job than this. I will do like far better. I will put some plumptuous, voluptuous tits on a poster, and by God, it worked in World War II. It's going to work now. And I'll put it, you know, like in high schools and whatever. Like, you find where the soy boys lattes are, and I will put like the biggest tits you can imagine, you know, like just on a poster over there and slap. And on the high school, join the army. You know, this chick needs you. And you will see like how recruits are coming in droves to you. They're coming in droves. It would be like, is your beach body ready? And beach body for Afghanistan because they got sand. You know, like that type of shit. I would make those posters. Like, you would not be able to deal with the recruits because you would not have the staff required to process them all. Like, you would not have room in your barracks to just, you know, stop the wave of recruits that are coming after I make your PR campaign. Hire me, military, British military, or any other military in the world that wants me. I'll make them good posters. I'll make them sell. And I will target with waifus as well. It's like, you know, for the anime lovers. That's another thing you can do. Let me know what you think. Looking forward for reading what you guys have to say in the comment section.